Alright, part 2 of the body build. For this Mango Explorer, we're going to start doing the routing. All the clamping was done in the last piece for this sort of custom hollow body. We're going to start by routing out the back for the control cavity and use some double stick tape for then the recess. Got a top bearing bit and my Craftsman router, and we're just going to route this out. Take my time and go slow. And the movement there is the movement of the body, not of the template. It's looking pretty good. I found an extra piece of wood that matches this top pretty close. We'll just place it down. The coloring isn't perfect, but that's alright. I didn't want to put a black piece of plastic on here. I'm going to use what I've got. So the control cover template's on. I cut it off on the bandsaw. And then we'll just rub this over the top bearing bit. Use my fingers to hold it down and go slow. This is obviously fast forwarded. So then you saw the neck build. This is in progress. I'm going to line up the neck to the body across that center line. So I've got the center line where I join the plate. I'm going to use my laser level and make sure it's looking right. We're going to then draw it out and attach the template for the neck pocket tenon. I'm going to screw it down, make sure we're looking right. And it is just maybe less than a 16th too far back, and you'll see that coming up here. But we've got my router, DeWalt 621. Gonna route this out just so I've got a little bit of depth. And we're gonna build a ramp for the body. So those are 4-degree ramps, wedges, whatever you want to call them. We'll put the body and the template on the top. Make sure it's nice and level, and we're going to take this outside to my pin router and route this for that perfect angle. I needed to put one brace on top. I thought the double stick tape would do. It won't. So I'm just doing a couple additional braces here, and I've got some handles as well to move it. So we'll take this upstairs to the pin router, top bearing bit, and route this for that perfect angle. I think I'll do a slower video of this for you guys. This is a crucial step. So we'll clean up the tenon here a little bit, test it out. Make sure we're getting it flush and fit. There's the body. Looking good. Getting close. So we'll begin to lay this out for the rest of the routing that needs to happen now. So I'm actually going to route with the neck in. Going to get it so it's perfectly fit in its spot. Like trim down that tenon properly. I've got 2 different bits on those routers. One's a 1/2 inch, one is a 1 inch. Router only goes down so far. We'll make some clamp adjustments and then route the bridge pickup. And since I've got those channels on the side, I can just pop through with a drill bit. You'll see later. And I want to get a little bit more access to the top of the frets, higher frets, so I'm just shaving this down slightly. Cleaning up that edge. And then this is, I took this back upstairs and filed off that top and just sanding it down flush. Going to put a 1/4 inch round over on here. So it's still freezing here in Chicago. This is actually hard to route once I have that curve on it. Body is huge, end to end. That's such a long body. And we'll sand, and more sand and more sand. So this is sort of the rough sanding, 120, 220, 320. I probably could have spent a little bit more time sanding. A couple scratches I still found after I applied the finish. One way to avoid that is to wipe down naphtha on the body, and you can sort of see your errors and also clean it up at the same time. So the neck is all done. We're going to fit this. And last time I used hide glue in that one video. Here I'm just using regular wood glue. Get my clamps all set up, apply the glue. Regular type on, spread it in, push that in, and clamp it down. And this was tight. At one point here, it kind of got a little bit stuck, which freaks me out. And then I got it to move slightly. There is a fine line there, see? Pushing it down, tapping it, and I got it to move just enough. But just regular wood glue, tenon was tight. I will let it sit. Clean up the edge of the wood glue that spit out. So that's a wet rag, and we're just cleaning it up. So now we're going to get the donor hardware and start lining this up for drilling. 24 3/4. That's exactly where that line is. Mark the holes, approximately where they should go. Goofy bit sizes here. We're going to use that center punch, make sure it's all laid out, and then drill this out. What's nice about this template is it actually had where the controls needed to go with the right distance, so you don't have to do any guesswork. We'll drill out the 1/2 inch, drill out the 3/8 using active EMG pickups. Now we're going to start applying the True Oil. So this is one of the times where I got everything done and drilled, and we're going to apply the True Oil. At this point you can start seeing how cool the wood's going to look. The color's starting to pop. It's looking really good. Put 6 coats on. After the first 2 coats, we're going to sand down and fill those pores with the slurry mix. Did this over 2 weeks. Slightly warmer in Chicago. It's only 35 here versus before when it was in the 20s. It's been a cold winter. It's hard to get a lot of stuff done that I needed to. This was coat 2, and then coats 3 and 4 I applied. A little bit of True Oil got stuck onto the fretboard, so we'll come back and clean that off with a razor blade. Just scrape it down. Clean up that fretboard. If you do this too many times, you're going to get like a scalloped look, but this is only the first time I did it. Mark the control cavity, drill that out. Finish that in a little bit of True Oil as well. And then we'll start wiring this puppy up. And I really never film this process. Usually takes me about an hour to do this final work. Had a little bit of problem getting those EMG pickups into the corners. Had to feed them through weird. EMG uses a battery. And as I'm playing with this, I figured let's put a kill switch in. So I'll do that in a follow-up video. Show you that. Got some demos from somebody we're going to play with here. But didn't have to trim any of the wires. This all sort of fit in perfectly. Lots of wiring. I used the volume and the tone that was part of that Dean Les Paul copy. We'll get it all clean, drill it all out, lay out everything. Had to widen the holes, like I said, for the wires. And then we're going to work on the headstock plate here too. Lay this out a couple different ways, and we just use sort of a flat design. Cut it out, apply true oil, and we're done. Guitar looks really nice. Here's some pro-ish type of pictures. Happy with the way it looks. Sounds great. You saw that in the first clip. Here's an additional clip as well. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this whole series.